really fucking questionable that we have a Chinese bank in Canada, but we do not have any American banks.
It's a lot. And we already missed the shredded tires. Leaving Fayetteville, North Carolina. There was a vehicle that was swerving a little bit in front of us, and we decided we had to get around, move into the middle lane to get around him, and then we realized he had a bunch of shredded tires and he was driving on his rims, and we did not capture that on live stream.
Sleeping on the job.
Sleeping on the job as always. There's just so many things to do with technology and capturing moments, and don't you just hate that as a creator when you're like, all the goods just jumped out of my kitchen cabinets in my RV, and I'm not recording this at this particular time
because I'm in too much of an emotional wreck, and I didn't see the potential of the content until after the fact.
So this is why we are hosting YouTube University every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, in order to inspire you to capture more of your amazing ideas, thoughts, life, and the disasters that come with it.
Disasters make good content.
Exactly.
And they're also very clickbaity. It's like somebody who's like, my whatever type of trailer or RV is falling apart. And you have that YouTube thumbnail of that.
All we need to do is literally make a video before it goes in for another warranty, because I'm like, the existing damage that's already there after the year, and then, did you know that, like, we already knew our countertop was bubbling?
Did you see the bubble?
The new bubble?
Oh, that bubble's bad.
Because it's separate, that plastic is now separated from the particle board. It's Bluetooth, so.
Yeah.
But we already knew it was like that, and then they pointed it out, and now we're just waiting for replacements.
We're always just waiting. That seems to be part of the.
That's why you should not be stressed out about waiting. You should live your life and just have these events that, get your stuff done.
Is that a gas station? Benson Dog Park. Visit Benson.org.
No idea.
They're like promoting a dog park, or is it only a dog park?
There is a business model out there about dog parks, because I see the ad all the time, and in my mind, without knowing how this dog park business model would work, I don't see how it could work, because the ads are like, list your property, Fido's ready to, or like something like it is like, wait, and it's like, you can make X amount of thousands of dollars leasing out your yard or your land as a dog park. And I'm like, well, are people paying to go to dog parks?
Because we've been to dog parks, we have agility stuff, but you're not allowed to go there and train dogs if you're gates. I guess that would be one way, is you could lease out the space, or like a rental, right?
I see the ad a lot, and I was like,
that would be one way. That is one way I see that. And then or I don't know, do people throw doggy birthday parties?
I don't know. I'm just like, it seems like, how much would you really pay
to
have your dog go to like a safe park?
Or to rent out the space so you only have access. Because maybe there's a niche. Maybe there's a niche of people that want to have.
It's pitched like Airbnb or
that just want to have for 2 hours a dog park to themselves, just that space for their own dog. However, I don't know. However, I do feel with dogs, socialization is very important, and that there is lots of benefit.
You finish this one, because I'm sure that looks like your business. It's all squished and the lid's not screwed on. That seems like Penelope handiwork.
You're over talking my theory on it. I didn't even listen to it.
Move this back into small place. I just chill.
I'm doing the complex of considering how they make money off of it, because that's exactly because the majority of people won't pay to go take their dog somewhere to go and use the facilities. That's a nice way of saying it. To do their business. So there's got to be some spin on that using the space. So that would be my thought. Would be like dog trainers could go and rent that space and run courses, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I feel like at the ad and like at the.
Do you get sponsorships for like putting up people's poop bags?
I just saw it.
Certain brand of dog.
I saw it actually in
pickup bags.
Canada, even before we were back in the US. Or
Yeah, this is making me perplexed. You'll have to do some research on that out of
this is
curiosity.
yours. That's the Android, and mine's over there. Okay, get my phone together. And you want me to charge your phone, which means I gotta find a cable that works with your particular phone.
I liked it before I got to this construction. It was nice. There was nobody, and now it's like people again. However, at least it's not at night. So I do not like. I get why there's cement barriers, and they make me claustrophobic. Is it a laugh cough at me? Yeah. $55 interest free. So it's 48.
This place
months.
isn't technically open till 10 o'clock. It's just that their parking instructions are by 6.
They open at 10 p.m.
They're open till 10 p.m.
Oh, until 10
And just for employee safety, I was just like, I told them we were on coming from North Carolina and we'd be there at 6. I was just grabbing their phone and I was just like making sure there's no messages from them. So that's great.
Are you staying there 2 nights?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we need to find a place to park for a night. And then that's why I was hinting at Jose that we'll park here for 2 nights. And then we'll just pull in front of his house on Sunday. The place we're staying Monday is 20 minutes north of his house. I just asked him, I'm like, hey, I can bring Penelope over Saturday and or Sunday to play with the kids. However, we have the trailer. Are you allowed to have trailers parked on the street? Because I just need to know how I'm bringing the kid over to play.
Asking for asking.
Well, this time I'm not asking to sleep in your house. I just want to park in front of your house for a night. But he's all up for the Monday night place. He'll come hang out with us.
It's a beautiful July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in North Carolina? Is that what we were reading?
We are currently in North Carolina, and we end up going through North Carolina's big. Well, then we're in Virginia, so we're really only gonna cross into Virginia today.
Cape Fear Transport Company. I feel like when you put fear in your name, even if you said like no fear, like that, back in the day, the no fear was a popular trademark there for the old people that know that. Kind of manifesting what you don't want. You really want to put your emphasis on what you do want.
There we go. That's charging. Perfect. Eat my eggs and do some YouTube stuff. I do some other stuff. I do some other stuff. Which one is mine?
I don't like the logo fear. I feel like it's brainwashing me into anxiety. Fear the road, fear the cement barriers, fear the vehicles, fear the weather, fear your neighbor, fear the transport company. I don't know how long we have there. I don't know what's happening here. I assume they're both going to merge in front of me because that's what people like to do.
Apparently, where we are parking tonight is Battlefield.
Oh,
There may be some.
from like the 18.
I will go look it up. I just looked at
Which battlefields? I know there's a few battles.
I'm just saying there may be some intense energy.
Intense energy. The death of the battles. The ghosts of the Confederates and Patriots.
It's I don't know. It just said Battlefield.
That's interesting.
Wilderness Run Vid.
I'm open
That's
for visits
Spotsylvania,
from
Pennsylvania. No, Spotsylvania.
Transylvania. We're going to Transylvania. We get some vampires. coming out of
Wilderness
that.
Battlefield and within minutes of the Chancellorsville Wilderness Battlefield.
Being that I'm not American, don't get me, and don't to judge us that we don't know American history that well. We do know a lot, not everything.
$1864.
I was gonna say 1865.
Result inconclusive. Estimated casualties 29,800. 13,000 Confederate soldiers died and 17,000 Union soldiers died.
So 13 and 17.
29,800 total.
Okay, so what was the numbers again? How many died on each
Confederates
side?
lost 13,000 soldiers and the Union lost 17,000.
The Union lost more soldiers. So I'd say if you go based on loss, they lost worse. So they're the losers clearly because they lost more
Obviously
men.
they're saving the battlefields from corporate invasion because it's like a trust fund.
Oh, okay.
So History Channel. So yeah, we're going right into American. We're gonna be parking right in the middle. Well, I do that because Jose's around Washington. It's in Maryland, but Washington's its own state, right? DC.
I find it's always been a confusion, which I do get. There's lots of places like it, because you got province of Quebec and then you got Quebec City, right? But Quebec City is inside the province of Quebec. Washington combobulates me, confuses me, since it's not actually in the state of Washington. So it's like a city of Washington, is that right? Washington, D.C. is a city, and then you got the state of Washington.
Exactly. The state of Washington is
because Washington's, the city of Washington is in the state of the District of Columbia, right? That's why it's Washington, D.C. And then you've got Washington, which is an actual state, and they're on completely opposite sides of the country, right?
Wow.
And that's always like, oh, we're not close. We're not too far from Washington, where we were in Canada. Well, that's the state Washington, not the capital city of Washington. I feel like Washington, the city of Washington, should be in the state of Washington.
It might be a city called Washington.
It might be. And then it'd be Washington, Washington. Washington, Washington. And then you say that enough, I just start thinking of things being clean. They all need to be cleaned and washed. I'm not trying to mock them. That's just where my brain goes. I know I'm always being weird. I drive for hours and hours and I don't even listen to music most of the time. I'm literally watching people do stupid things. I do my best to not participate in stupid things. Is it about 65? That's like Google Maps, but I can never trust Google. Google has lied to me many times. I never put my full trust in anything it says.
The District of Columbia is literally just a corporate wrapper
for the
city
of for the city of Washington. I know because
like
it's
London and
I know like London being like not actually part of. It's like it's separate. Or yeah, the Vatican.
Okay, so DC, District of Columbia, is not actually a state. So Washington kept.
So Washington's not even in a state. It's just its own country.
Exactly.
It's its own country.
Because the U.S. Constitution mandates a federal district not exceeding 10 square miles to serve as the nation's capital.
Why is that?
Yeah, because it was actually before, if you go back in American history, Philadelphia was actually where a lot of the federal government stuff was housed, and then they moved it south for more time.
And then they took it out that it was not part of any state.
Yeah, because it can't be influenced by.
I guess that would make sense. Is that then you're not being influenced by whatever state and have any preference on that state or anything like that because that's where everything is held. Unlike Canada.
So the land, which is the federal district known as Washington District of Columbia, was created from land from Maryland and Virginia. That's why it's just sandwiched between Maryland and
Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, the oldest state is Delaware. That is the first state.
And so how does that exactly happen? Did they just decide they were becoming
history?
So it's like essentially that we're part of the United States of America and we are a state within it and there is no U.S.
Well, because I think there was a lot of history between Philadelphia and Delaware are bordering. Like it's all this like we're just gonna through history move U.S. federal government. Oh, that's an electric truck. Broken down, being towed by a tow truck.
But it's not electric. No, I guess my thought was like, okay, if you're the first state in this new country, the country doesn't exist without the states. So there was no country till Delaware decided to be a state in the United States that didn't really exist. Would that not be how that would work?
Because it was the first of the 13 original colonies to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7th, 1787.
And then when did the other colonies do it? Thank you.
I don't have the ChatGPT app on the phone. What sorcery is this?
Yeah, maybe it's one of the planned tech issues for July 4th.
What?
Down the conspiracy hole. I said.
You haven't downloaded ChatGPT as an app on your phone, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I don't have it on my phone. I probably need it on my phone.
So you want to know what dates each of the
Yes, did Delaware start? Was it like a long time?
No, I'm
Or was it
thinking
literally
there's
like
the
they
original
were the
13
first one to sign within like minutes, and so they just like take it that
days,
we're the first
or
one
weeks.
in your face. We were the first. Is that like just because they like literally signed it first on the and then the next state governor or whoever is like right behind them?
Yeah, I can't even install that.
It's like twins taking that. I was born a minute before you, so I'm so much older. Good day to learn about how the USA came to be.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that said stay fresh urban underwear. No, it was streetwear. But I feel like that's a good logo for underwear. Stay fresh.
Between December 7th, 1787 and June 21st, 1788, the required 9 of 13 states ratified the Constitution.
I guess they all would have been signing the same document, so it was probably part of the time would have been actually getting into those other locations or people getting there to sign them, right? Because you'd still have to communicate to get everybody to sign it.
1787 is when they were making all this framework for the United States of Columbia, which then just wrapped into the United States because that's what DC is named after Christopher Columbus. As District of Columbia, Christopher Columbus. But we got British Columbia because British Columbia was fucking half of Western Canada at that time. Yes. So Delaware, the Constitution of the United States began May 25th, 1787, when they were all meeting in Philadelphia because it was the capital of that. It ended on September 17th, and then it was Delaware, and the last one was Rhode Island, which is not actually a state at the moment because things shifted up in New England, right?
Isn't Rhode Island like New Jersey or is it New York?
No, it is a state. Okay,
it is a state. You don't even know. You failed your geography lesson of the USA.
In Rhode Island.
I was like, I love Rhode Island because I feel like I've seen, Miss America. I'm from Rhode Island.
I've not been there. I've
I
not
don't
been
think
to
it's very
Universal
big.
State yet. No, I think it's very small. But
Does it have an
wrong.
airport?
Fake news. Fake news. Fake news.
Because Delaware talks about how they don't have they don't have an airport in their state.
Delaware's got an airport.
Isn't it military?
It's not international. It's just
Oh.
local. I am pretty sure there is one because I was told.
But then what about Rhode Island? Again, it would be a little private one, like the one that was out in,
you know what?
outside of Calgary.
I am incorrect then because I was told
to get to.
Ooh,
I was listening. Bojack.
it's a restaurant. Yeah, but that's those ridiculous commercials from like the 80s or the 90s where the guy's carving the roast and asking you how your day was. So I'm gonna have to hang out, kill a time. Have to hang out, kill a time. Because I gotta be in Manhattan, and then filming for Muko starts the 21st. So I just thought, well, if we go first. So I just thought, well, if we go up see, really close to just, I could just drive to Delaware. To Pennsylvania's a little rough.
Why? Is it just long?
It's a distance. It's not going to be
like how many days? 2 days? 3 days?
Yeah, like 14 hours.
Okay, so that's like.
But then we'd have a short drive from the Shady Maple to New Jersey, right?
No, we boondocking there before.
Yeah. So just like, hey, if we can do water, if we can get to Nashville, do water fill, blah blah blah, then we can just.
Well, are we determining that we're going to stay at a campsite in Nashville?
I got to figure that out.
Probably.
Probably, since, which means hint.
Find one.
Find one.
If you can find one with a pool, laundry.
My wife is asking for pool and laundry. Where did I put my Android
If I'm spending money, those are my requests. Boondocking or fairly inexpensive parking on somebody's lawn. Fair enough. And if I'm paying money, I want some features, man.
This place is free the first night and $25 for the second night.
Okay.
I don't know if they have any services for that $25. It's not like the youth services at the Vineyard in Florida. So. So no, I've not found anywhere yet in Tennessee, other than confirming that Philip was over there.
Eat. 105, 106, 107. Oh, Keely. That must be their restaurants are off of all of those exits. So I'm assuming that's what they're promoting on that side.
They listing their actual numbers.
Wawa, don't run empty. And I was like, yeah. No, that was the best sandwich of my whole life.
What? Who's best?
Wawa. It said it had a sign. Wawa, don't run on empty.
We're gonna drive till we're
Well, we had some fruit
banana
first.
or apple.
And then you can have some unhealthy stuff. I'd like a banana too, please.
So I brought 2 bananas.
Thank you.
Here. Dude.
Thank you. I'm just, the internet's so bad, I'm trying to do my homework and keep disconnecting me.
You keep getting denied.
So I'm just watching Lollipops.
Yeah. Why do homework? Just watch shows that you've downloaded.
Yeah, well, like, remember my Lollipop thing?
What's your assignment with that? Oh yeah, you're supposed to do a review, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I not done it yet.
Okay. A season review write-up. That is true. I did agree to that. I'd like to know what place it's not, like that they're happy for you to drive impaired. That's gonna get you some kind of award and not,
You know, most of these places, well, how many people are driving? There are nothing for 1,000 trails in Tennessee. Actually, that's wrong. There's a couple, but I didn't really where. Yeah, Nashville.
best in bird.
Go behind the slow traffic.
It's definitely so, oh my god. I'm not moving anymore. I'm moving. Just like slowly.
Yeah, I have my chips now. I ate my banana.
Give me some chips. I want to try some of these.
They're good. They taste exactly like you.
Almost there. Jesus.
They're doing the bookies. Almost there. If you really are a fan, you never skip one.
Sure. Take it.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. You have to say it louder.
I got a laptop open and a phone, trying to figure out a bunch of things at the same time.
Would you know if anybody was ever commenting on the log?
Huh?
Would you know if anybody was
No, I
commenting?
have to log into YouTube on something. YouTube channels and respond to all the comments. And if I scroll back through it, it looks. Tiger Owl looks fine. Tiger Owl looks fine. But anyway, there's 2 viewers in here, and I'm one of them. So.
And then where are we driving to? We're driving from North Carolina to Virginia. Is that right?
Correct.
On this beautiful July 4th. Not too much traffic, which is what I was expecting. Expecting that most people are already where they wanted to be. Not too busy. But we are kind of between cities too, so it might be a little bit more.
Can I have one of the
Okay, just wait till
A little more busy when I get near the cities. However, it's been better than it has been. There's definitely less people. What are you looking for, Pal? Yo,
Yeah.
in the back, what are you looking for?
There you go. I haven't
OMG.
had them in so long and they're so good.
Well, yes,
They're so bad for you.
they are.
You can just comment or just watch it because then I get a live viewer the whole time.
Yeah. Penelope?
Hey, take my phone. Take Mom's phone. Don't exit out of there.
And then here's the. So yes, you can watch it and make random comments. Come on, support your family.
One viewer would you.
Well, I know. I'm gonna go put it on my Android while I'm working. And Mom's should have her other Android out. We're gonna bot farm of Androids watching their own YouTube stuff.
Yeah. The other one's I gotta charge it. It's like so dead beside the bed.
Well, everything's always dead all the time. That's how.
And you can't ever find a cable. It's always the missing cable for whatever. Because it just stops working that day.
Welcome to the 2025. You know, back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you had a Nokia phone, and that phone was like undefeatable. The cables were also undefeatable.
Yeah. Hey, just like the furniture televisions. No one stole your TV
Here.
unless they had literally an entire football team was breaking into your place. No one was stealing that piece of equipment.
And now they're just hung willy-nilly on walls. And
They don't last. They've got the computer chip that goes.
Our TV has gotten trapped. One of our TVs in our trailer has gotten trapped in the slide-out mechanism. It kind of broke. It still works.
And it was attached and like locked in place. That's how well it worked. Oh well, everything worked.
They're not designed to be driving down the highway at 80 miles an hour.
They're not designed to be used. I have determined this. Trailers are designed to look pretty, entice you to spend money
For 5 seconds.
but they don't actually really want you using them. They're not really made to be used in more than for a week, a year. If you use it for 1 week a year, great. It might stay together a little longer. But when you actually start using it, you realize how poorly made they are. There's ways it can be made well. So literally you spend the whole time upgrading, fixing, and finding solutions to all the problems that could have been made proper that wouldn't be problems if they were made proper. That's 2025. And that was 2015, before it got even worse. Fix them yourself. Don't buy anything. I was saying, or maybe you can look at something that's really old that somebody has literally rebuilt and, might stay together better. If you go new, be prepared to develop handyman skills. Or handy human skills.
I need to build for new people like Stephanie, where I got them I want to send them a link, have them fill out questions about their business.
Yeah.
Where they can they fill out the questions at their convenience. Once the questions are filled out, then we'll give them, it just automatically gives them a link to pay to start onboarding for cybersecurity, and then we'll just send them the link. If they decide that they want the full package at $125 or whatever it is per month, I'll send them the link for I send them their link to book for tech support, which I already have a Calendly for the link for that can be just automatically sent to us. One for getting the online backup installed, which they can literally just do themselves. And then the 2 or 3 pieces of software I use could just be links that they're sent to download that software once. Then they just book a call saying, okay, this is, and then try to get them to do as much as possible, and then see who needs more TLC themselves. I'll have them at the base price. If they need more, but I was like, oh, I'm interested. I should have an onboarding form. I have an onboarding form for the YouTube club. And the only 2 people, I think there's 2 that are showing up that did register to show. Right? So it's like, okay. Putting out a link, inviting people to a Facebook group has more signups than putting out a URL with a sign up form.
You need to find an engaging one that you can then use as your ad, because I keep getting ads for shampoo and conditioner process for like your hair type. Being that most women do have curly hair types, and it's about selling like these curly hair types, and it's literally question after question, and then it's the ad, right?
Well, no, because I just brought up, because I know that Stephanie had mentioned that Justin, in his coaching program, he's got an app. Okay. Right? And it's like, I've already been told by my demographic, which is female business owners.
Yeah.
That they love using apps. And if presented with anything in an app format, they will use it and purchase from it. So I'm just like, so I was looking because I was thinking of that, and I'm like, okay, but then I was playing with Jotform recently for that client of mine, right? And then I realized Jotform is free for up to 100 filled out responses per month. And I was like, okay. And it looks way better than the other form I built for the forms I've built out for medical offices, right? Because a lot of medical offices, before you come to your appointment or when you're a brand new client, they're now having you fill out these digital forms before you can even make an appointment, right? So it's like, okay. I just like, history, blah, blah. So it's like, okay.
Well, yeah, well, that's like.
Then I'm prescribing.
That's like onboarding.
Because we're going to be prescribing suggestions to people. I was like, okay. So I was looking at Jotform. It's okay, form. But then I realized in Jotform, they also have an app feature where it's like, you're just choosing from a template. And you can, like, obviously with an app, it's super direct because it's like you're showing them only what you want them to see while they're in that app experience versus them fucking around with 100 tabs on a browser and then getting distracted. So I was just like, okay. So I'm like, just because I saw Stephanie was using, I'm sure, an app to, I was like, okay. I was like, she's using Justin's to count all her calories and all her activities, right? And it's like, okay. And I've already had this comment come up a lot when I've somebody who wanted to use our services in the UAE but told me she only shopped because we know what the Dubai market or that market over there, everything's like apps, right? And it's like, okay, how do you deliver your content? Well, you're making video content that can live a long time on YouTube and then be pulled into other resources like webinars or apps or whatever. But when it, for like client communication with you, Facebook's one place, although I post yesterday did not get spammed, but the previous 4 or 5 posts before that were the all spam on the same day. So it's like, as you build a community, useful. If you can use it for onboarding and texting, or I hate texting. I'm fucking responding to messages on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, text message, email, multiple phone. I was like, how do I do that? Something. It's like, oh wow, okay. Like, hey, go through the, onboarding, it's like, how many computers do you use? What data is important? Do you have to be HIPAA compliant? Like, it's just like one. If you can just start collecting information from people, you could actually, what you're really trying to do is collect data points. Even like, it'd be the same as YouTube comments. All those comments are really just data points to tell you to keep doing that same content, or to switch your content, or to respond to people to keep them in your drinking your Kool-Aid. No, I literally was like, wait a minute, I just created all these forms. Why don't I really have a onboarding form?
I just got to the part where a toast dies.
A toast?
He's a character.
Okay. I'm like, what do you want?
Not the waffle bots?
No, okay, I'm watching, what's it called?
Only Brothers?
Yes.
Are you still watching the YouTube stream?
Yes. But it says 2 people watching.
Okay, 2 people watching. So we're still in North Carolina. Just discussing
We have
3 hours left.
onboarding. We're capturing customer
Ideas through apps.
comments or detail. Like, what's the best way to ensure high engagement on communication between creators? So you're going to have requests across every single. I think that's why a lot of people get burned out. They're like, I don't want to respond to WhatsApp or Telegram or Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger today or LinkedIn Messenger or all this stuff.
I have to I don't know. I know some of them you can have an auto response, some you can't.
I
it's
hate
almost,
them because
but you
the
need to
problem is,
almost put like,
once you turn them
you auto response that within a week you'll respond to their message. And if there's a better way to communicate, if there's a better way to reach them, if it's more important, if you're contacting me through Facebook and send me this message, it's going to take me a week to respond. If you need me, text this or call the number, right? Like that could be like an auto response if you need an immediate service, right? Because it does. This is probably something we could design, like, or we start selling some kind of app that literally collects all the messages you get on all the different freaking social medias into one place. But I'm sure it's
yeah, but then you gotta deal with 2
privacy
factors. No, you can do that stuff through Go High Level and all these CRM tools, but then that's another piece of software you have to force your brain to understand. And
well, and at least
not everybody's open for the emotional damage that learning new software causes. Because there's the challenge, it's that change management, right? Because
I don't understand. Okay, we've been forced so much change, especially since the 2000s. If you've worked in corporate for any period of time, you have been forced change consistently with tech.
Yes, but you have also experienced the pros and cons of every new tech that gets released.
Yes.
And there's a ton of people who just love Go High Level. We're using it as a test for like 7 months into testing, building landing pages on Go High Level. However, I don't know how to use it. I know how to build landing pages, but there's so much stuff to learn and Go High Level, and I think my energy is better spent on learning all the ins and outs of YouTube at the moment, as opposed to Go High Level. I learned Go High Level slowly because there's so many. As one of my friends has mentioned, it has so many bells and whistles. I can do 100% of what you want it to do. However, I find the experience in mid-60s. There's better tools than Go High Level, but the challenge is the 10,000 hours you got to. Okay, Because even if you are a business owner outsourcing your Go high level development to somebody else who's a professional, you still know learning the ins and outs of how all that stuff works. Because as soon as you bolt on a new feature, there's more pros and because it's like
shorts. I've started using the Remix. I didn't realize there's an option, and it's the YouTube, not the YouTube Studio, that you can do it in. So it's just like kind of weird because it's the same thing. We're so discombobulated, and I'm not sure really what YouTube's reasoning to the fact that you have 3 different options. You've got the desktop, the app, and then the YouTube Studio apps. So you have 2 different apps, and you've got a desktop of the YouTube, and they don't all do the same stuff.
Fusion.
That's why you like, if I want to do something here, well, I have to go, I now know I have to go to this one to go do it over here, right? That also bothers me with Zoom. I guess you might have the app on your computer or phone, and it can do most things, but you still have to go to the desktop to actually do a bunch of it.
I have a question. When is your guys' like class?
Oh, it's tomorrow
Saturday,
morning.
9 a.m.
Tomorrow morning. So you'll be ready for tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
We'll be parked. We'll have the generator on, so. It's not like it's not like we're driving to the beach and sweating our faces off in the truck, air conditioning.
So picture we get her the Zoom link. But I think, that that's not even a new problem for us as humans, because I keep coming across videos where people are showing an item or a tool that we've had for 60, 70 years and that nobody's using correctly, or there's an option with the tool that people just didn't know, so you're only using half of the features of these tools. We don't even know how to use physical tools that we've been given correctly. How are we supposed to know how to use all these freaking softwares? Babe. Cigarette outlet and fireworks.
Because I was going to make a post because we got that newsletter and they're highlighting that one kid who his channel's only reviews. And he's got under 100,000 subs. He's made $1 million from AdSense. I went and checked. I verified he's monetized. Because a lot of the time you see those people on YouTube and they're not monetized, but this is YouTube highlighting a creator, so like, well, they're going to be monetized. And I correct, the newsletter by copying the text out just to incentivize people that they can it's not about your subscriber numbers. It's about the quality of your content. Your
cost engagement and constant. It's a repetition and finding the people. So this is the trick. I think it really comes down to if you're consistently posting.
Huge Paul Bunyan.
Yes, it is. There's the blue. There's the big
Can't see it. Yeah. Well, they're all over the U.S. too.
Okay. I think that the key is first, it's consistency, because that's the only way people are going to find the people that are interested in what you make. The only way they're going to find you is if you are consistently posting. And especially when you're not, not a high, like starting out, you have to keep posting. So then YouTube will eventually keep pushing your stuff. So people that will like your content will find you. Then it's making sure you're making the content that keeps their engagement, right? So if he's doing reviews, obviously he's doing good enough on the reviews that they're watching it and they're watching for a long enough time. That's why he'd be making money. He's doing a good job reviewing whatever he's reviewing, whether it's video games or whatever.
Oh, it's like chairs, just household object,
Just reviews.
Yeah, like things. Literally. And he's a teen, so I'm like, if he's been doing it consistently, I bet he's got people sending him stuff. Like Ruben was doing that for a while, but during COVID, he was just doing, Ruben co-author in El Paso. He was literally that's how he started his Instagram and his YouTube, is reviewing products and giving products away. That's exactly how he got started. But then he's, shifting it to him as a master of branding. right? That's always new content. But I need to convince him to come to our class. But I think he's in Mountain Standard Time, so that's 7 a.m. on the Saturday. And he's not monetized on YouTube. I don't like to poke. I don't like to poke that pin that in anybody's face. They're not monetized. I can help you get there.
Oh my god, a Prime Video Sonic 3 is free!
That's what we saw, right?
Yeah! I'm watching it now.
Hey, did you do your dailies?
Yeah.
That is a lie. Go if the internet is working and is stable for you now.
It's not even that big.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're not watching anything when you're not done like minimal.
Fine, I'm listening to it while
Yeah, I was trying to find gas stations. But I don't know. Assuming Law was around. See what else is around.
If you are listening, we homeschool year round.
What
So-
other candy did you get? The nerds, gum, chips.
If we do year round homeschooling. Really, it's only like an hour or two max most days. Keeping consistency, as I found for myself, if you're interested in homeschooling, taking big breaks were very counterproductive. And then I felt like we were always starting from scratch if we took big breaks. So I find doing, because in reality, you're learning all the time. I'm not taking a vacation. We're talking about what we're learning, what we're going to develop, what we're going to try, what we're going to continue
is literally-
building. That is my personal opinion, especially being a homeschooler and a business, developing businesses and working on businesses. If you don't do the work, you don't get the payoff. So if you're not putting the energy into it, you're not getting the payoff. Taking big chunks of time off, yes, you have to take care of yourself for sure and have balance. However, I feel like you need to just keep moving forward, like taking off time. Like, I feel like that's what the problem with retirement is people, work for this future. And then now their mind starts to slip. Like we've seen this when people retire and they have to get another job, not only to help them financially, but more so to even help them stay thinking and open and clear of mind. Taking breaks is okay and good. I just find a 2-3 month period in the summer is really not very productive for my daughter to stop doing stuff.
You're talking to the lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because we passed the only Wawa in this area to figure out in the next half hour. And I had a few. It'd be nice to know where we're going. Do I even know my zip code? I went to Google Maps for zip code. That's what.
Welcome to Halifax County. See, there's nothing unique. Halifax is a major city of one of the provinces in Canada. It's the capital of that province. It's like Brunswick. All these Brunswicks, we have New Brunswick in Canada. What was it today? What was it, the other name that we were talking about? There's so many. Like how many Springfields there is here in the U.S.? Mm-hmm. Like The Simpsons.
3, mother, 3! Your phones.
Rocky Swamp, North Carolina.
There must be a lot
I
of
was
rocks.
talking about that. It's like more trucks. What do you think? Do you see more trucks in the U.S. than you see in Canada?
I don't know.
Definitely in the southern
It's pretty.
states.
It's pretty. When you're in the cities, you definitely don't. No matter what cities you're in, you don't see as many trucks. More so in our provinces of like Alberta and Saskatchewan, you'll see a few more. That'd be, I assume, rural, like rural here. Like you're going to see a few more in Texas, in some of those big cities. There's a few more, but you get into like some major cities, you definitely don't see a lot of trucks. And even in Texas, where everything's supposed to be bigger, it amazed me how small some of the roads were with the amount of people that do have big trucks, and especially in Texas, where everything's known to be bigger. Maybe that stereotype, they're trying to remove it. Don't become Montreal. Montreal's roads are made for horse and buggies. So you go with a truck, it's a lot of fun. We had that experience.
There are police reported ahead.
Well, we'll see that we're being notified. There is police. Oh,
You're hitting the brakes.
Yeah, because they're.
I always wonder when they have so many police that pull over one car. Makes me wonder. Oh my God, really, dude? You're not even gonna let me merge back? Like,
Florida.
seriously?
Florida man.
No, people like need to chill out. Like, I really have realized that. Like, you don't even give people chances to do things. I know why accidents happen because you're abrasive, aggressive, and probably should have left like 3 hours earlier. And if you're late, then just live with it. Get in the flow. Be okay with it. Don't add that energy because that's when you do
Good
stupid
advice
things.
to only yourself.
And I know I'm giving my advice to myself.
So there's one viewer and I'm looking at your phone, so.
Oh, thank you. I'm giving you the advice for your driving, Bill.
I'm not even old enough.
For the future. Chill out.
Several years. In 3 years, I can get my driver's license. I mean, or driver's permit. That way you get when you turn 16 a driver's permit.
Well, how this worked, because I was in Alberta, when I was 14, I was able to get my learners, which is a driving permit for you to practice. And the thing with the learners is that you can only drive if there's a parent with you. Like that's how that works. So it's, you can drive. I had to pass a test, right? But it's only a paper test, right? So it's like you have to make sure you understand the signs, and they just ask you a bunch of questions, and then if you pass that, which is what I did when I was 14.
Right?
Yeah. But it's not. It's usually multiple choice, Penelope.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because not everybody has the same English and stuff, so it's usually multiple choice questions. Then you get your learners. And like in Alberta, you got it at 14, so then you would have 2 years you could practice before you could apply for your legitimate license where you can drive without having a parent adult with you, right?
Ellie's always gonna be too short, so I.
No, but then what happened is I was 14, I had my learners, then I moved up to Flin Flon and into Manitoba, and Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and you had to be 15. You couldn't get them at 14. So even though I had been driving, I gave them my license when I went to get my Saskatchewan license, and I had to redo my learner's test. So I passed it, and then I did it in Manitoba and failed it, and then passed it a third time. So I passed it twice, failed it once in between.
Why did you fail it?
I don't know. I got too many wrong, and I was like, that's so weird because I like mastered it in Alberta. Like I had no problems, like passed it so easily in Alberta, my written test, but failed in Manitoba. So I don't know. But then I passed it the second time in Manitoba or in Saskatchewan.
Oh, cool.
And then I eventually got to do my driver's license, but it was kind of painful because we didn't have people that you couldn't just go in anytime you wanted to do your test.
You have to.
We had to wait. Well, no, we had to wait till the testing people came up. They would come up once every month because we were so far north. So when you're in the cities, you can pretty much test every day until you pass. You just pay until you know.
You pay it to be written.
They'll test you and you either pass or fail. But if you're, or sometimes it might be like you can't try again for another couple weeks or something, right? But you don't have to wait. Like we did when, if you failed, because you'd be fighting for appointments to get your license when they would come up. They'd be booked solid because everybody'd be trying to get their tested, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you normally get a learner's, beginner's license of some sort, and then you do that for a little bit, and then you go for a test where it's an actual driving test. So when you get your drivers, you physically drive the person that's testing you around.
Like in all the movies.
Exactly. So the learner's part is written. The driver's part is you driving and showing them you can drive, that you can parallel park, you can do this and that, and stop and yield and shoulder check.
Shoulder check is when you check them.
Yeah, when you're gonna look to make sure there's nobody in your blind spot.
And you do that when you're merging lanes, right?
Exactly. Like I said, you don't want to run into people, right? So you want to know when people are driving around you where they are. So that's part of being also a really good driver, is being, I can talk to you, but being present and aware that I have an idea if there's people on my right, left, etc. A little easier when you're on a highway on a longer trip because you're driving for longer. You'll definitely be a little more aware because you're,
Like, you only have to do turns at specific areas because you're driving so long.
or if you're merging between slow traffic and fast traffic. But when there's like on the highway here, right? When I'm on it, when I go to merge, I can see that there's two vehicles, and I think one is a state trooper on my left. I don't have a right lane, so I don't need to worry about that. But when I get close, and if I was going to slam, I would be like, okay, well, either I'm going to merge before those guys catch up, or I have to speed up, or I have to slow down, or I'm watching. And then I'll also know if there is anybody in my blind spot, right? Or be more aware. You still want to double check just in case you do miss somebody. So there's something about driving conscious because you're driving aggressively and come out at fast driving is not what causes accidents. It's slowing. People who drive really slow are actually more of a hazard in certain aspects for people that are driving like the speed. So
I feel like that, like
Highway 70, right? So I am doing, based on what my app is saying, I'm matching at like, or their pickup, maybe they're at like 69 or 68, but I am going to catch up to them. 10, it's not so bad because you have time to adjust. Now, if somebody's driving really, really slow and you're doing the speed limit or a little bit lower, you catch up to them really quickly, that can cause an accident because if there's a whole bunch of people on the one side and you can't merge lanes and again, if they didn't have their lights on, because that's also the problem, is people have older vehicles that don't have automatic running lights. And if it's like foggy or something and you can't see them, you're going to have an accident because literally you're going to run into them while they're still moving because you couldn't see them and they were driving too slow. Right? So that I have seen that. And that was actually my biggest concern when we were in the rain the other day, when it was really foggy, was that I saw somebody merge in front of us on the highway and they had no daytime running lights. Like they didn't even have brake lights that I could see. And it was super rainy and very difficult to see to begin with. And I'm like, and if that guy just suddenly stops or slows down, I can't see them and I'm going to run into them even if they're moving forward. I feel like the reality is that people need to put in perspective that the number one way you will die is on the road each day. Like if you want to put statistically, what puts you in danger each day of your life is coming on any road at any speed. Even being a pedestrian, exactly. Even being a pedestrian walking near the road increases your chances of something bad happening. And so it's one of those things where if you kind of keep that in your mind and choose that, you want to get where you want to go in your vehicle, still moving and functioning the way it was when you left your house or wherever you came from, and you want to get in the same shape that you left your house. You want your vehicle and you and their passengers to get to the end destination in the same condition that they left to go to that destination. And that's how I decide to live. Is that not thinking about what can happen, but putting out the intention that when we left, we show up in our destination the same way we left the previous destination. And that still doesn't guarantee anything, because it's not like what we've had all these things with losing our generator, right? Having the black and gray hoses fall out of the trailer. You know, like you just have all these other things that happen on top of it, right? So it's like the more you can be more aware and pay attention and like and do the best to be a diligent driver, because there's going to be all these other things that you have that will just happen when you're driving, right? So it's just you're driving.
I'm going to take you to Murphy's in 8 minutes.
Okay.
That's just off the highway.
It's a gas station.
Walmart gas station. Because Wawa, if we go to Wawa, we're at like 19-mile range. I don't like that. It's further.
Which could be eaten up if there was anything that comes up.
It's in the middle of the city. This is a small city because we're just about to leave North Carolina and go into Virginia. Okay. So it's like I was looking at time. I'm like, okay, 20 minutes to the gas station.
I have.
It may not be easy.
Hold on. Yes,
I don't even know if it's open. It says it's open.
Let me speak to Father.
My dad was giving me instructions for the next thing, which is a little bit important, Miss Attitude in the back. Okay, now speak, Attitude in the back.
So I just finished my Peace Academy. The next one I do is my test.
Okay. Did you do all the side ones?
Yes. This one I'm personally juggling with. I keep getting like 2 stars on.
Well, do you need to go back and like tomorrow and do some more of those practice extra ones?
Yeah, I think so.
And just see if you can get some and find out what you're struggling with. I need to see what you're actually doing as well, Penelope.
Okay, I'll shoot.
Because then I can maybe help you where you're struggling. Because I don't actually know what.
I keep getting I keep understanding it and then getting it wrong enough to only get me 2 stars.
Is it this next turn off?
Yeah.
So I'm just going.
I think the easiest way is to do this next one half from our destination with the full tank.
I've gained.
You've gained time. That's what I'm saying. Go now. This is easy. We don't have to fucking drive across half a city for it. So this exits.
This one here.
We're going to pull over, and then you can get snacks out.
I think we still have something.
Yes,
then wait till we're
right now. Are you ignoring the conversation going on in the front?
I'm trying to make sure diesel's easy, but we don't know what's actually open today, so we're gonna go try a Murphy's in this state. Because we're like 122-mile range.
1,000 feet. Turn left onto North Carolina.
So we're gonna cross, yeah.
No, I can't do anything while you're eating.
How did I gain time? I wasn't even excessively driving.
25 north.
Don't follow this one. Turn left.
Yeah, okay. No, because that's going to bring me back on the highway.
That's going to take you to our spot. But then at least we know how much time we're losing based on that. And I also don't know what the price of diesel is, so it's like...
Biddy won't stop eating me.
Biddy, be nice to your big sister. I don't know what that's all I can do, Penelope. What would you like me to do? I cannot reach anybody. Biddy, are you slobbering all over your big sister? And you're eating her. Are you really that hungry? Do you need a treat? Oh, he stopped eating you when I said that? Oh, okay. So he's like, you're starving me. You're starving me in the back. I'm going to eat your precious child.
Now he's eating
In a
me.
quarter mile, merge
Because
onto
there is no
I-95
TREAT in his mouth at this moment.
Head northwest on North Carolina 125 north. In a quarter mile, turn right onto Premier Boulevard.
Okay, which one am I listening to?
They're both accurate right now, so...
Oh, okay.
It knows where I'm going. So yeah, when we get to the Shell, we're gonna turn at the intersection right before Shell.
So right here with this guy?
Yes. So we're gonna make a right-hand turn.
This guy, this gal,
Turn right onto
the
Premier
vehicle.
Boulevard.
I'm assuming Walmart's also going to be $3.30. It was a little bit cheaper in Fayetteville when we were there, but we forgot to fill up yesterday. So.
Oh, your coffee.
Oh yeah, because then you were like rushing us out of Walmart because we were taking so long because you haven't taken me to a grocery store besides Publix. And took me for 2 for 1, and then I was like, "What do we need?" And then we were looking at stuff.
And you guys didn't tell me how to turn the truck back on.
You had the key.
You have a key.
Yeah, I didn't know how to turn it back on.
Push the button.
Okay, it's the same way Mom's trained you to roll the windows down, which is only one of
But
the
that
two.
wasn't turning. That turned on the truck, but it said I had to start the truck.
Oh, you need to put your foot on the brake.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to put my foot on the brakes. I don't want. Because it said that. Yeah, it did say you had to press the brake, but I didn't.
Hey, it's fine. You didn't
No,
die.
you didn't die. As long as you don't take it out of park, you'll be fine. Well, that's fine. I'll teach you. You're about the age that you need to start to learn anyways.
Baby, stop! Stop it! Stop!
Is it tickling? Biddy! It's tickling your sister or your nibbles.
Hey, you guys,
Is he
stop
nib- is he-
pawing, but
is
what
he-
are you attacking the window for?
Is he nibbling your toes?
Yes! He's nibbling!
Obviously, they feel like they've been in the vehicle too long.
It's been in the trailer all day, then it did. So I haven't even really.
I lost all 6 minutes already.
Yeah, well, we're gonna lose time fueling at any point, so.
Like that'll bring me right into some shopping area.
Yeah, it's always going to bring you to some shopping center, but the shopping center's right next to the onboarding ramp. So if I'm. Yeah, same prices in Canada yet paying in the US dollar.
Oh, I know, which makes it way more expensive.
In 1,000 feet, turn right.
There should be a Murphy's gas station right there, Murphy USA. It's on the right hand side.
Even
There
though
should
it
be-
doesn't look like it is.
because
you
the
go
road
around
is so
the corner.
curving.
Okay, so it's not there, not this, right? Actually go into the next one where the gas station
And
is.
that's
Take the next
Lottery
right, then
place.
turn left.
Do I turn in here?
that's a car wash.
Well, it goes through.
Okay.
Or should I go in the other way? I can go in the other way. and
Yeah,
pull in.
because we don't know what side the pumps are. I'm assuming.
Take the next right, then turn right.
Okay, I'm good on that side. Not to hit the.
I think you're fine. I just don't know where the diesel is.
Head east toward Premier Boulevard.
Diesel's available there, so I'm wondering if it's on the back end. Because that doesn't look like there's diesel, does it? No, it's all.
Not on this one.
No, so I think it's in the back. Can I fit through there?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
It should be fine.
Your destination is on the right.
Yes, there's the diesel. This is the last one, and I have to be on this side so I can actually.
I know. This is like we would normally have rolled through this way, but
Sorry, guys are gonna have to back up other spots. I'm okay still on that side, right?
yeah, you're good. It'll be fine as long as you can. As long as this guy doesn't have a problem backing up. Well, dude, you're not gonna be able to get out that thing.
Sorry, buds.
2 of them locked in.
That's not my intention. You guys can back up easier than you film. Max.
She's screaming at you.
Who?
The guy in the truck.
Um,
Yelling at somebody.
maybe, pretty sure. Because that one doesn't even have diesel. It's only this pump.
And we have that guy and that other truck's gonna have to move too.
Where's the cartoon?
This guy's just disappeared.
I guess. Oh, can it's a window?
Hmm?
Who causes?
I don't know.
It's
Yes,
just
this lady. Same thing as we'd get at Wawa. Remember, we pulled into Wawa that one day, and there's no way we were pulling through there. So. Which isn't even pumped yet.
No. This is what slows down the fucking gas station. You gotta, like, if you want to care about the next day, you gotta make sure it's always full the day before we don't travel. Because you never know, like, if we're lucky. But, like, that one doesn't have a diesel. This one's a little diesel. And the other way around was tight.
Oh, they're always tight.
I'm like,
You good on that side, though?
I think so. I think I should be. Okay, can you pass my bag for a second, please?
If it's slow, I'm just gonna pump whatever
You're
we
gonna have to back up to get out.
It's fine. I'm not even filling up yet. So.
Okay, do you need to pee or anything, Penelope? Do you want to do it now?
Sure.
I don't know if you can go inside of there. I don't think you can.
There's a restroom right there in there, but
You could also go inside the trailer.
I gotta poop, so I'm gonna pump it. You guys gotta do what you need to. And then, but we got like half an hour already on a path. It shouldn't be too bad today. I need to.
Oh, nice.
I'd be like, why did you stop at a gas station? That's an electric plant. It smells.
Right. My face is so pumps over them.
It's hit or miss. Wawa's slow, Murphy's slow. Only if you go to a truck stop at the big gas lines are they fast. She's done.
You just have to anticipate 2 hours because there's always going to be problems getting freaking gas.
Well, but we know that if it's like a raining day, that it's gonna be way longer to get places.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
Right? So it's like we can hope for the best and see how it turns out.
We're into this, and I'm okay on that side. This weight, got it. Vehicle.
Hard, like, well, he's gonna have to back up anyway.
Yeah.
So I just need to be close enough.
'Cause I might
where-
need you to get me out of here.
That's fine.
But here, you're way, like, I'm
Okay,
way
okay,
close
good.
because there's not
Just
really a lot
park.
of space. So I'll just park right there. Okay.
I'll fill up and then
Okay,
we'll
let's go pee. You can help me in the trailer. We'll go in the trailer. Do our pee break. If there's anything else you want in a trailer right now.
Ooh, ice cream.
Yeah.
Get off, you dumb. You get the googus. Oh my god. My god. This is a spork, not even a spoon. Ugh. Need a same spoon for my ice cream.
Making sure nobody blocks me in. So I can leave right now.
Right.
So just go this way.
That way?
But it might be easier.
Going around there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's a corner.
Yeah.
People may not see you, but if you go out that way and block both lanes as you come out
Yeah.
and turn right. Okay, we only lost 20 minutes, 19 minutes.
My turn.
Gas could probably go a little bit wider.
Turn right
You don't
on
want to
Premier
jump that
Boulevard.
curb.
Still too close though.
You're good on this way. You're still good on. Well, now there's a Tesla, so.
But I'll go, like, kind of take this middle way. I'm okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US 158 West.
See, there we go. That was easy. Does that still say live up there?
I don't know. I think it's still counting down. Looks like it's still on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I actually have to do both now because I still not got those YouTube videos up. Stop by left.
Because this is where
At the light,
Yeah.
turn right onto US 158 West. In a quarter mile, turn left onto the I-95 ramp.
left.
So underneath and up.
It's like I don't want to hit this guy.
Somebody dying in the middle of the
I
interstate.
know. Oh God. I go left, and I definitely don't want to hit you.
Turn left onto the I-95 ramp.
Okay. Don't worry about that.
South right away.
In 1,000 feet, merge onto I-95 North. Continue on I-95 North for 87 miles.
Internet says picture birth. My phone's still plugged in.
Probably. I haven't unplugged it.
Gaston and Garysburg. Those two different places. I'm assuming Gaston and then
I don't know.
Gaston Garysburg seems like a weird name, but weirdly long, I guess. But
It's probably opposite sides of the highway.
no problem.
That's how everything is down here.
Gaston.
See, actually, for this place, when we
Gaston is how I would say it. I say it with the French. I like that, the sound, but who knows?
There's a ton of stuff in America that's French, right?
Just about done my email.
How are you on the internet? Mine's not even connecting.
I said I'm almost done. I was just on the internet off very much.
You gotta remind me to turn the internet back.
Messaging, Dad.
That's nice. I don't care.
If you don't care. Oh, we're almost to Virginia. They're telling us it's welcome centers in 2 miles. Or have we already passed the Virginia border?
I don't think so.
I didn't think we did.
Well, the last sign said 8 miles, so.
So somewhere like, in the next 2 miles, we must hit the border. When did you pay for diesel?
$3.29.
Was that the same? No, it's very.
It's less. So we'll see. See what the price is state to state, because it's like, okay.
Here we go. We're in Virginia.
Virginia's for lovers.
Welcome to Virginia.
It's such a weird thing. Like
The
love
trees.
just the trees make you love. I don't know. Like, what makes it so loving?
All
The energy.
I'm reminded about.
They want you to go do some hanky panky. Radar detectors are even.
So we'll see what the price. We'll see what the field price is in Virginia. It's and we'll see what it is like in Maryland, so we have an idea.
I'm way over contemplating the one message on the sign.
What was the one message on the sign?
Headlights must be on with if using wipers. Like, that's what one of the signs said. Headlights must be on when using wipers. Okay. And it's just like me going down the wording of it to be told it that way. Was it too much to say, like, use love? You know, like, it's like pointing out that you need to have your headlights on in low visibility, but they're only saying when you're using your wipers to point out you have low visibility. So instead of like where other places are like, you know, headlights when there's low visibility, well, does that mean that they don't understand it? So this is the wording is, oh, you're just, the law is that you put on the headway, the wipers on the headlights better be on, right? And I'm like, I'm just like really contemplating like that wording and why it's that wording in this state. And I'm like, it's not wrong. It's actually very good because you know, like, I guess when you have your wipers on, you definitely want your get it that way. But the wordage and the verbiage used to motivate people to do the correct thing, like put on your headlights when there's low visibility. So there's where your wife's brain's gone. This is what happens when my brain is open. I'm here in this moment, and then I go into these deep thoughts about signs. Like I have found myself going to deep thoughts about wordage on signs a number of times since I've been driving. Not just this time, but all the times that I've been driving. And each state has slightly different signs. Deep. Contemplative. Ooh. Seriously? Are you guys one of these nether douche states with bridges like that? I thought we were past that.
You're in a new state now. Every state's gonna have different quality of roads.
So we give you the illusion that we have good roads because we're lucky enough that they just don't fall apart quickly because the weather's not that bad. Because then you go to the bridges and we want you to bounce right off of them. Like, I know there has to be a reason that some bridges do that and bounce you so much and other bridges don't. And what is the difference in what the engineering is or I've decided as I more awareness of using words and stuff, right? I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm too old for this shit anymore. It's gonna be, I've had too many experiences to deal with this shit. No oldness anymore, Mike. That doesn't, we don't say that. Too much previous experience to deal with this shit. Doesn't that empower you that you are not old people? No,
calling me old.
That beard. That gray,
What?
that gray fro.
Yeah, I've been gray since I've been 20. It's not
Yeah, I
age.
know, but I need to shave it. You look unkempt. You look unloved and unkempt. I didn't know there was chips left. It's all.
Get some water.
I've had too many experiences. I'm done dealing with certain things. Dara. Head out my sunroof, blasting my favorite tunes. I've only got one thing on my mind. And his license plate's gonna fall off. I was singing to him. What? Why are you going in front of me? So you didn't like my song?
Oh.
Why'd you do that? I don't understand what's going on. Why did he do that? You don't like me singing? I was like inspired.
It's just like those people that
I was inspired
this morning. There's no tires on their.
Oh my god, I was inspired. Oh shit, it's a bounce female. Yes, it is. I think these are poor places bridges. I think that's how these, I'm just gonna call them. That's how you know the wealth of the state is by how awful their bridges. That's another awful bridge. Let's see if we're gonna. Oh, no, it's short. I was all inspired by his head or her. I don't even know. I don't know who's driving that. All I knew is I saw a head that was going under the sun. Inspired. I'm gonna drive in front of you with the brakes on.
That's the weirdest noise I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, from the back seat there. What are you watching? Yeah, you.
I'm trying to find the audio for my video
Oh,
on CapCut.
I see. Next time I serenade anybody. And all nice, thinking I'm serenading. I know I get cut off and brake checked for some apparent reason. I'm not sure.
Brake checked, brake checked. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if they brake check you? Just drive.
They're like almost the same color. It just makes me think about again another little meme I saw about them showing like what McDonald's locations look like in like the end of the 80s, 90s, in the early 90s, then 2010, and then now, and like how dystopianly like they were fun. They had animals, they had bright colors, they used the red and the yellow, and I was just like blah, right? Like these bland like brown or gray buildings. So I guess they're mostly gray now, right? That like gray color. Two different colors of gray. Maybe it's a black and a gray. And that's what everything is. Everything's become so blah colored. But I think that's like, you know, keep us with less creativities because colors stimulate your mind. We need less color in the world, right? And that's what I say as I'm wearing all black. Yeah, outbound. They're small, it's not so bad. Well, and I won't merge if you're gonna be an asshole. Yeah, be a fucking asshole. I will call you an asshole because trailers or anybody hauling anything, any big trucks, like if you have not driven, pulled, or hauled anything, you do not seem to understand, which I get because I didn't understand this either before I started pulling. They need a lot of room to stop so they don't run into you. And it's gonna take them a few minutes and they'll be able to do the same speed. But they can't stop on a dime. So if you cut them off, you're like kind of
Where's that
forcing
video
them to.
showing? It's like go up the top left hand corner. Oh, they check the video feed.
I could see it on the thing. I don't know, it's showing something.
Yeah, showing something.
Hey, this guy's like going on my blind spot. Pass me because clearly I'm getting stuck behind these guys. Oh, you haven't done a live yet though, showing that somebody ran into us.
Why do I need to do that yet?
Good content.
I got other stuff to do, like.
Good content.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Doing bagels every day.
Yeah, that's nice.
Remember, people like chaos.
So I'm not gonna do that again, except I'm gonna see if I can get rid of that watermark. That, I took a screenshot. Why is that not coming up?
Working on this end, and then I'm going to work on some others.
Oh, so I guess the Alberta Prosperity Project came out with their, like, talking about how Alberta will maintain its wealth. And you know what they said? Three things. Gold-backed currency. So Alberta's going to make their own gold-backed currency. Bitcoin. And something related to, like, probably a crypto and or like a currency backed by the oil and gas, you know, going into like the tokens and stuff we were talking about. It's like a currency kind of like petro based, but maybe it'll be more like, I think, a tokenized
No,
base.
it's literally just a security.
Yeah.
Like a stock market.
Exactly. That's how I would see it.
In it.
I would see it as a stock, right? And the value, because you're going to need.
So I'm surprised we haven't seen any crypto linked to the price of oil.
No, it's interesting because people are using it. It's just like people are using it. People are transitioning to this alternative currency.
That's
It's just not talking about it.
Probably cash price now.
Dude, need that faster, slower than me, dude. Or somebody in my left side. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's everything I would suggest. You have like an actual valued currency to some asset. Bitcoin means that Bitcoin's going where it's been predicted to go. As per Webon reports, it's going to be the currency that is used between countries and nations. It's going to be Bitcoin. And like a quarter of a Satoshi of a Bitcoin is what we'll be using to buy things. There's going to be the sub thing of like when we use it in small amounts, right? But the Bitcoin itself is going to be worth so much that we're doing like portions, teeny portions of the one that's valued that much. Like everything I've been thinking for so long. Talk to people. Vending machines is actually a really good idea. Have it every truck stop, really.
What?
Vending machines is an actual really great option to have at every truck stop, right? All this like really easy income because I've watched people who buy the vending machines, right? And I'm like, oh, that's like a great job. I feel like I need to own vending machines. But then that makes it a little difficult unless you have somebody to refill them and collect for you. You kind of have to stay within a
That's
certain
literally
area.
any business.
You have to stay
You
within
have
a
to
certain
create the
area.
business, build it, and offload all that labor to somebody. Well, that model just comes down to location.
Right.
Do they have a location or you don't?
Oh my god, that's funny you say that because I came across another meme on Crackbook there. And it was somebody's posting, I do 50 to 60 interviews a week here. I never hire
I
anybody.
saw that.
Oh, did you?
It's Facebook, yeah, that's running.
Hmm. But there you go, right there. I have the residual income. I pulled in all my potential shoppers for the day. That's that's how bad I think it's getting for the job market is that no one's actually hiring and like the things I'm hearing. That seems about legit what's happening. But you came all out here for this interview. Why don't you buy a product from us? Oh my god, dude. Well, what? Are you gonna let me go? Or you just like, what the fuck? I dislike that people do not give me time to merge. That was what I was gonna say. When I'm merging over, like there's gonna be a period of time where I want to make sure I'm past and not cutting off anybody because I don't want to hit anybody. And the impatience of people that don't know this, don't hold trailers and just have like intolerance on the road. This is what I'm saying. Slow down, people. Like, chill out. Oh no, I must have hit something. Okay, this person is passing me so slow, but I don't want to slam my brake on. I want to merge into this other lane. Merge so slow. Or past, I guess. There's another huge Confederate.
I'm gonna pick up those up there.
But ever since you made me play that game, and then I was like defeating waffle bots, I still want stupid waffles. Oh, I got for my birthday for 4th of July from Waffle House a free waffle coupon.
Yeah, Mom.
We're still gonna go use your Wild Wings. I don't know when that's good till.
Yeah, I'm an apple.
And Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But those aren't
an
any
apple.
originally.
An apple day keeps the teddy away.
What, Teddy? Is that true, Teddy?
Max is just sitting sad with his red ears.
It's brownie red ears.
Oh, they're red right now.
The sun reflecting on him.
I'm so happy that Sonic 3 is free on Prime, because then I can keep watching.
Well, as long as it stays on. Well, as long as they have it, right? Because that's the only problem.
I think great movies that don't get a lot of views go in the free.
Well, no, they only pay for rights to show them for so long. Unless they make the content. It's like Netflix. That's why things can go off of Netflix. Is if the Netflix content will stay on Netflix, but then anything that's they buy from somewhere else is usually an agreed contract for how long they have it.
I love Sonic 3, so I'm happy I can keep watching.
But
Well, that is the perk of owning the movie. Is that okay? Yeah, it might show up on some of your platforms, but if it ever goes off, you still got it, and you still have it. You can't take it away because you have a physical copy.
I love the evil hedgehog so much.
You love Jim Carrey as Dr. What's it, Dr.
Eggman.
Yeah, Robotnik, yeah. Did you say Dr. Candy? Is that what you said? What did you say?
Dr. Eggman.
Eggman, Robotnik.
I never call him Eggman, but because of
Ape Skunk Man. Ape Skunk Man. Why are you rolling your eyes about Ape Skunk Man? Yes, I am obsessed with the ape skunk men that roam North Americas. I wonder if they are over in Europe too. I say number 95. Yeah. So that's Washington, D.C. That's something for Washington, the actual state capital, not the state Washington.
2 hours away from the
You should almost check it out. Oh, look at those eyebrows. Hey, that would get a picture in front of the White House, Mike. No, that would get your social media.
what if they would be the trailer's not gonna be? Let's see what this place is like. And then we can
I feel like we need to do that.
Well, I'm saying
I feel like
if we
hey,
when we part,
we put our patriotic glowing stars on Filthy's head, our patriotic glowing wristbands.
because we're gonna put this natural. Yeah, I gotta get this newsletter out to get these YouTube things done first before I get distracted. It's already like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, everything
not my
takes
fault.
time.
Well, I know because I didn't finish all my stuff. I still have a whole bunch of stuff I want to go and
I just
do.
wanted to get it
It all
blasted
takes
out 'cause I
time.
know I'm still gonna have to go post reminders in the group and say the videos recordings are up.
We don't go near Washington. We go Petersburg.
Yes. We're gonna be like 45 minutes away from DC. So
So that
We
doesn't
can't-
actually surprise me
mm,
that Stephanie's friend, who's gone for a while, that just showed up, that they found out had been arrested for the January 6th, right? That they were there, and I was like, okay. And in my mind, I was like, I wonder how long that'd be to drive up to Washington. It really isn't that far.
it's obviously it takes like
Well,
January
she
6th.
didn't know gonna write a
Get pardoned then.
yes, because that was one of the things
Oh,
Trump did
6
early on.
6 degrees of separation.
Okay, well, I guess that makes 2 days early, right?
Geez, so yeah, 11, 12. Probably 12. Yeah, 11, 12 because from Washington to. Oh yeah, we're back up.
That was interesting.
Oh, we can do that. We can park and if it looks safe tomorrow.
Yes, okay. I wish this was my home. Let us live here. We had to find
Because then
somewhere.
if Sunday works for play dates, then it's fine. Monday we relocate to the bars.
We're getting that way.
I'm going to take you to the Equestrian Therapy Bar in Delaware.
Is
That's
that where his mom lives?
that's her mom's place.
We have 3 viewers.
Ah, nice. Hello, 3 viewers.
Oh, so I shared it on Facebook. That's why. Hello, viewers. We are about an hour and a half from our destination in Virginia. We're just talking about a
Trip to DC.
possible side trip tomorrow to DC once we get our trailer parked. I need to go check my messenger because I know Gabby's in the area, but I don't know where she lives.
Well, and of course we would go, right after July 4th, just because then that would be when it would be like super busy. Don't go when it's not busy.
I know a few people up in the Washington, D.C. area, so I see how planning the next couple of days works out. Okay.
It'd be interesting. Interesting to.
Well, I haven't been there yet.
No.
Come on, we went all the way to the Alamo.
Yeah, you did. We made it to the Alamo. We made it all the way to the Mexican border. We've seen the Trump wall. We've driven along the Trump wall. We've been to the Keys. We've been through Panther territory of Florida. The Skunk
Skunk Ape area of Florida.
Yeah.
We've driven past Alligator Alcatraz.
We did before we even knew it was going to exist. That was probably part of the construction we drove by. That must have been what they were doing there. That's all.
It's on the other side of the highway it's in that area where Skunk Ape territory is.
Mhm. Well, we've been everywhere where the only place in North America that crocodiles and alligators exist together. Or maybe it's the world. Maybe it might even be in the world. And I feel like you need to get some content about the DC.
That's why I'm on Manhattan, because after I go for my bottomless mimosa brunch,
Oh yes, your
I'm
bottomless
going
mimosa
to
brunch.
run up to Father Duffy Square.
Yes. Well, you have to go see Father
And then
Duffy
I gotta
every
go
time
boot
you're
it
in
all
New
the way
York.
back to Penn Station in order to get back to New Jersey so I can do filming as of the next day.
Are you starting to feel like, that part of New York, you're starting to get to know it?
I need to know like the back of my hand.
Penn Station to Father Duffy Square, also known as Times Square.
Well, it's just a park in front of
Times Square.
Times Square. Times Square is kind of a bunch of different streets. I didn't want to stop for. I think that we're getting into more
I need to get to a different lane.
city areas. Oh yeah, because that guy's got his 4-ways.
Yeah, I know. The other lane is like packed. I'm like, where do I go? I guess I'm going on this side. Make content. I don't know very many Canadians that go to Washington, D.C.
It's officially on the signage there.
I didn't actually realize we were so close to it. I really need to look at a map.
We
more
literally,
often.
this part of this trip is literally all the way from the Keys up to, well, we're not going straight to Jersey, we're detouring because
That's what we're doing.
oh,
We're going where the wind blows. Except for maybe earlier today. You see me as the wind fought and blew our cable. I might have been a counter direction when that happened and blew off that box lid that went missing. Or actually didn't go missing. I saw what looked like a box lid that I recognized be destroyed behind me. A little busier here. As I heard, when Trump made that whatever announcement of like checking records of where money was going and stuff, that the most amount of houses that went up in all of the U.S. was in Washington, D.C. It's an interesting
Well, it's because all the
coincidence.
pariahs that rely on the U.S. government for employment were
Which
being
all work in
franchised.
Washington, D.C. They all live there. There's nothing more patriotic than a Canadian coming to the White House.
Huh?
Nothing more patriotic than a Canadian coming to the White House. Because I'm pretty sure
just clickbait.
Trump already owns China by the metaphoric appeals. So get all the benefits of being in the U.S. Like the right to protect ourselves. That's a huge benefit we don't get. Greyhound that no longer exists in China.
Well, it would have been if it wasn't killed off before COVID. It would have been killed off during COVID.
Oh yeah, because it was just doing so poorly. Such good potential. There's not really a reason that it didn't do well, except for people being murdered on the buses. It's kind of a problem. Murdering people makes it less.
Larger
people
cultural
don't-
shift of how much mental illness is in Canada and riding on those buses.
Yes.
I'm not saying there's not mental illness everywhere. It's just like, is it?
Well, I think proportionally wise to the population, we are an extremely high amount of mental illness, and that became quite apparent in the last 5 years.
Get the fuck over. Get the fuck
Yeah,
over.
dude, like move over. You guys are
Now it doesn't matter because
assholes.
the lane's open.
I know. I'm so jerky.
Hey.
No, we just have a higher percentage of mental illness now. Fair enough. I'm like to judge. I struggled mentally during the last 5 years of being a hostage in my country and internally fighting with the mental illness I was seeing around me, resisting it instead of accepting. I was
This is
resisting.
not even plugged in anymore. I don't even understand what's going on.
I was driving myself crazy by resisting the situation. I was really didn't have that much choice of participating in. I guess I chose not to get fake documents. That was my choice. Whereas if I would have paid to participate in the psychological mental illness and bought fake papers, I guess then I could have left. However, I feel like when there's mental illness and perpetuating it by participating in it, it just allows it to be justified in the mental illness that is happening en masse. Okay. Charlottesville. I feel like I've gone by that. There's probably lots of Charlottesvilles now that I'm thinking about it. Like all those names we were talking about before that happen all over the place, and all the different states have one.
We're definitely in the midst of some deep woods right now.
But outside of the woods, you'll never miss that American flag. Bigger than this woods, or mightier
Well,
than the woods.
it's also definitely something you do not see in Canada. Patriotism.
Well, I don't have patriotism.
I'm just saying, you can't really drive across Canada. You don't see that many flags.
No, you don't. And
But-
I believe at
But
this
in the
point it's very
UAE,
justified.
in Dubai, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah, Dubai, there's people are patriotic to Dubai. People are patriotic to the US. There is patriotic Canadians. They're the minority, and their patriotism is not justified. There you go. The UAE has become more and more wealthy under their supreme leader. Their supreme leader treats the Emiratis like gold. There's different rules for different people, and if you're Emirati, you do get a little bit of a special privilege because you are of that board there. You are the only ones that get passports that are of the UAE.
You're gonna sell again.
So
Uh-huh.
what?
Uh-huh.
Penelope, you know what? You're being a massive a-hole.
I'm actually not an a-hole.
Like, what does it matter?
Just giving you updates on
Well, just and then going in like mocking. Is that really nice? Would you like me to do that to you? Would you? If you were doing a live and I did that in the back or like something like that. Yeah, would you want me to do that to you, Penelope? And it's like the life lesson. We treat people the way you want to be treated. And I feel like that's a very valid way. It's if you treat somebody a way and you think, how would you feel if you were treated that way? Exactly. Like, how about we treat each other the way we want to be treated? And I feel like that's what goes missing when you're driving. People forget there's humans inside. And everybody's going somewhere. Everyone's on the road for something. We need to be more respectful that we are all humans, have little different lives, but essentially all want the same common thing. We want to be able to be safe in our lives, prosperous, and have love, right? And then we get so thrown out by stupid things like, oh, we're running late, so we just do dumb things, and then things that outcomes we don't necessarily like happen. It's like, okay,
Who's running late?
I don't know who's running away from where. This again, this is going to be my biggest peeve. Is going to be me passing somebody on the left side, wanting to remerge back, but because I give myself more time, by the time I look over, like these a-holes have already passing me on the right, and they're in my blind spot, or they're getting into that spot. It's like, how about you have some patience and give people some time, especially when they're in large vehicles, that was what I was going to say, and are hauling things. Like, they cannot stop the same way as your little tiny car. Yeah, your little tiny car moves fast and quick, but doing stupid things and not appreciating what other people are driving around you and not even understanding that perspective will get you killed. I really think so. I think that's how most of these accidents go. Is usually there's some little car, usually, that does something stupid. Sometimes it's a truck driver hit them because then there's somebody driving it. But then it's like these is unsafe. Nobody, you're not giving enough space or time for people to react. And you're dealing with people, and every person moves at a different rate. And what you think is acceptable versus what other people think is acceptable might be very different. Take a chill though. That is a big bridge, that bedroom one there.
Yeah. Texas all over again.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that Jeremy's might have been a little offended, but I'm like, you guys need to take a note on like the Texas road system.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah, because Florida's system, it needs to be better. Like it really does. I feel like in Texas, for the population and how they did the roads, it's really easy to get around.
They said like, open to it. It's like you need a much better road system.
It's kind of giving reasons, and I'm like, you guys have way too many stoplights. There's way too many on back major roads. And I get then you want to be on the I-95. Well, there's literally always accidents on the I-95. And I still feel like it's just not, yeah. I will give it that after driving through a lot of the states and all of Canada,
We have a new
appreciation for the Texas road system.
sign up.
A new sign up for what?
Our
Your
class
police
Oh,
on the
report.
official form.
Um,
And I just sent out the invite to the newsletter without actually checking because now I'm manually forwarding the newsletter to everybody. Edward Pratt. Edward Pratt. Name does not. Yes, that works. Me too. Today, tomorrow, get up, do the cloud. So we should be like within an hour of DC.
Well, we'll see when we get there. See how far we are.
DC.
Now, would we be heading that way to go back to Nashville or no? Not at all.
No.
No, kind of
Nashville's
going
fucking
up and
way over
around.
there.
I know it is, but I'm just saying, would we be
Well, I was
going
gonna,
up
my
and
plan,
around? Does
my
that-
plan is since we're so close to Delaware, we're just going
Yeah, I
to
know.
bump over to Delaware, hit the bottom, drive south through Delaware, and exit into back into Virginia or North Carolina or whatever is on the coast and go straight west. And then we'll be driving to. We won't be taking this road to go to New Jersey because we're gonna go get a Shady Maple. I don't think.
That's a detour, right?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be going through this area, but I have to look at the map because I'm still not. I have not driven this road because I took Penelope from Mississippi to New Jersey and I didn't take the I-95 because we were more west.
Yes, you're more west than we were.
So I've not driven through this yet.
So what's the
Don't know because all the phones are on something.
Well, interesting city. It's beautiful. I don't know what city we're in.
Yeah, it's probably Richmond, Virginia. It's probably
Virginia, Holocaust, obviously. Richmond, Virginia.
or probably Richmond, Virginia. I'm guessing that's the next city before you hit Washington and then Baltimore. Because Washington would be the next big city north of this. That's 14 See, that's why I didn't want to get off and try to go find gas in this city. That's
Oh
why I took
no, this is like. That's
Philadelphia much? Like,
yeah, looks a lot like it. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like this looks like kind of like yeah. So
that's Richmond. Okay, copyright claim on this. This is playing music.
Yeah, Penelope. That was why I made you mute during your live, was because the music can be copywritten, and then you get a like, and you can have a problem. That was why I wanted you to.
Isn't this like the
The thing is that
Center for like National Intelligence or something?
okay, that makes sense. And the thing is that I'm sure it's not copyrighted because I've seen it in actually other shorts when I watching right here.
Best practice, because this is what we're learning. Here's what we're going to talk about in class, is going to be about how even if you pay for the right to use something, doesn't mean you're going to not have problems making content and having it monetized.
Okay.
Because what's happening, and this is what I was complaining about, so I knew if I used some of the music, even though we own and have bought rights to use the Canva stuff, I knew that I had issues with posting videos using Canva music. So I just got into making videos using just the miniature videos and the pictures that it provided, right? Well, now I have like 2 different videos of where I show some content I made. It's all images, and these videos, there's not sound to it. And I have now got copyright. I didn't get copyright like I didn't get slapped on the wrist, but I got that I can no longer have them monetized. And any monetization is going to now this company from China that must actually own the rights to these images that I used on these videos. So what I think actually happens, so Canva buys the rights, just like Netflix buys the rights to show people's movies, right? Canva buys the rights from companies to use their music, videos, whatever. If that contract comes to an end, well, then even though we pay to legitimately use it, that content is no longer covered, and now we don't have the right to use it anymore. And they don't give you any update. You don't know you're not allowed to until they come back and say, no, you can't use this. However, it should be grandfathered, because if you used it while they still had this contract and you legitimately bought this software, which paid for this contract to exist, you should be able to keep your product, or which would be whatever content you're making, and not be penalized with it. So, but that's an area that it doesn't exist. Like, this is the problem. Like I was saying it before, if you don't physically own it, it's not yours. So this is why doing lives, you're showing the video game, but you're playing it. So this is like a whole thing where a lot of video games, like, they don't care. They just want people to play their games, because then that sells their game. Because the more people playing their game, enticing people to play their game, it benefits them, right? So you're probably never going to have a problem with playing your game and doing lives, but that can be a problem with if you make any content using things that you find, Penelope, on the internet, right? Is that they can come back and say, well, this is my image, and they might not make you take it down, but you may not be able to benefit monetarily for people watching that video, because that image you used is you did not physically make.
The thing is, I always usually make my own photos. What I find them on Google, where usually if the images are on
In
Google,
half a
that
mile,
usually
keep
means
left to
that
stay on
most people
I-95
are
North.
use them.
I know, but however, it's the whole thing. Just like Canva, Penelope, just like Canva, I have the right to make these videos and put them up to monetize them. I paid for the rights, but now clearly something changed in the contract with Canva,
Keep left to
and
stay on
YouTube
I-95
is
North.
telling me that I cannot.
And with sound, I usually go on. So cap.
Yeah, and you can use those
Continue
from
on
YouTube,
I-95
right?
North
Yeah,
for
the
52
one
miles.
if you see a sound on YouTube and you find it on CapCut, that means the person
There are
isn't like,
police reported
because
ahead.
CapCut will mute the music if you post a video with like a copyrighted sound or a song. So if you find the song on CapCut, it's mostly not going. It's probably not going to get copyrighted on YouTube.
And there's no guarantee though. Until something changes, and then whoever makes it is like, oh, well, now I'm going to copyright it. Because you know what actually happened, Penelope? The birthday, Happy Birthday, was never a copywritten song. So you'll see movies and stuff like before the 80s that would use like Happy Birthday to you, and then the whole song, right? Well, sometime in the 80s and 90s, some a-hole went and trademarked it. So if you use it, you have to pay them to use that.
Wait, so technically everyone who's sung Happy Birthday.
Is it infringing on?
It is infringing.
That's funny at the same time too.
Well, then technically, now that I say that, when we say happy birthday to the person, your viewer, we could get a trademark infringement for singing happy birthday to your viewer.
I'm pretty sure it only went to really use maybe the actual like.
This, you know what, Penelope?
Or
This
singing
is what
in some
people think. You're not, oh, I'm not a big content creator, or I'm not that important. The AI will go searching. So this is what's happening now, is what I assume happened, because I ended up using, I'm pretty sure it's the same clip in both those videos that I used from Canva, is why those two videos have both been marked that I can no longer monetize them, because the artificial intelligence can easily and quickly scan things and find it.
Wow, you're going up in views.
Wow.
You have 4 views.
Oh, well, thank you. State trooper pulled somebody over there.
Yeah, State Trooper.
Lots of people pulled over.
Yes.
Any snacks I have to get already.
Oh, I got another person's pulled over. 2 pulled over right in a row. We've seen
Don't be
lots.
speeding on the 4th of July.
No, I was in lots of cops. The 4th of July. What do you think they're doing? They're waiting for you to come speed by, late for your barbecue. So that, yes, that is really kind of this gray area, Penelope, that's happening with content creating, and that's why your lives and things that you do with your energy that are truly all yours is ideally
There are police reported
what you
ahead.
want to have as content. Now, mixing in content, I feel like you need to kind of balance it out. Mixing content, you can use Canva, AI stuff, you paid for it, use it as you can. However, be aware that that can change at any moment. Why is this person in this lane driving so slow? I need to get into another lane. Because that person's like legitimately in the back. Well, that guy just like slammed on his brakes. Now I've got to like switch lanes in a quarter mile because this guy's a douchebag.
Where did you guys end up putting the Pop-Tarts yesterday?
They're in the cupboard. Why?
Packed of snacks.
Well, no, I didn't see them as actual like snacks. I guess they are, but that is not
exactly what they are.
And then the person behind, when I went over to the right lane, gave me their high beams.
See, that's gonna make a difference in the data.
Oh, well, I'm like, seriously, dude, this guy's in the middle, like, everyone's slamming on their brakes, and then I'm the bad one, yet I put my signal light and did not cut him off. Like, dude.
Here, take this. We're gonna be parked in like an hour.
Whatever. We have to love these brothers and sisters that are lost in their craziness.
I love everybody, man. I pray to our job.
Well, I have our sanity. Thanks.
That time of day, 420. By the time I get into the viewers.
Well,
I did post on Facebook. I did go post it.
Oh, the class or the live?
I'm not on the class online, personal live. I'm not that far. Where did I
I think it was that guy. Like, this guy's like angry at me and I didn't even do anything to him. Seriously, dude. You need to chill.
That makes sense. Now I have to go post it on the class.
Watch us drive and then have a meaningless banter in the background.
Well, still more exciting than some people's days, bro.
Maybe. Maybe.
Second.
Oh, merging into a bigger highway. I think we have to get into this lane. I do not want to be forced off. This one's an exit only. I want to be an exit only. Oh, I was actually not the exit only. I thought I was. I wasn't. No.
You know how we're driving.
Shh.
Oh, Facebook groups up to 70 people.
Yeah.
And then slowly growing through 60.
I thought that said hangover. Obviously, like, there's just words. No, it was not it was Hanover. Not hangover. West Call. Is that Peeper or Pepper? There's not two P's. So it's like P. West Culper.
Pepper.
No, the P's.
And how old is that word?
I don't even know. It's from ancient scripture. Oh, down to our last 53 minutes on this today's road trip from North Carolina to somewhere in Virginia, right? Somewhere in Virginia at a winery that we're going to. Lewistown Road. I'd say it's nice and sunny out. It's a lot less stressful to drive than when it's rainy and like a tsunami, a curtain of rain. It's just a little stressful. Hanover, not hangover. Hanover. There's a Waffle House. There's always a Waffle House. So I wonder if, no, that wasn't a Wawa. Which one was it? And I said I was surprised that there was shower and laundry at the gas station or whatever.
The moo
Yeah, with the moo with the frozen yogurt. The moo Dad, do you remember? That was whenever we went and we got that, our Mickey D's, our junk food, the burgers.
That's some random gas station brand. I didn't never even heard of it before. It's like E-gas or something like it.
Yeah, I thought so. That's it's in my mind. I was like picturing an E. I keep thinking like Enos. Like
it was E something, but it was like E for environmental. Like it was that kind of green E. Like it was weird. I don't know. I'm not sure where we're.
4 cop cars for one van.
ICE takedown.
Sometimes I always wonder.
Why are you laughing at me? Was that offensive?
It was very
Was
offensive.
that offensive?
It was so offensive.
For the nice takedown? Hey.
I'm gonna take us down later.
Never know if I'll let. No, I'm registered. I'm not overstaying a work visa that is expired. That is what they're doing with people with ICE. Is getting rid of one if you don't have one.
It's not our country. We have no place to say. But I find it interesting because very rarely do you.
It just moves.
We have no place to say anything really because it doesn't matter because we don't vote, we don't live here, we don't do anything. We're not residents, citizens. No, my point. Now I made me forget my point. Things. I was gonna say something else.
Take
Now I
care to your
forgot it.
point. Yeah, well, email's been sent. I gotta go and try to hook up to.
You don't have to eat more candy.
Oh, well, there should have been more snacks. I brought in eggs and fruits. I need to get an
Yeah.
apple.
Your daughter brought in candy and the chips. You don't need to eat them because they're
I
there.
do.
No, you don't.
I need to buy them.
You have 40 minutes. You can wait
No.
48 minutes.
That's an hour.
No, it's not. It's 48 minminutes. It's 3/4 of an hour.
It's because you don't eat.
You don't need that much food.
That's right.
Are you growing a baby? Like a log baby? Is that what you're growing?
We're live on YouTube. We're talking about log babies.
Hey, then don't go live around me.
Wait.
I was like what I said when in Penelope's live when she made me play with her, and I said that, but you think he sounds like that, like he's neutered, and then I think a bunch of people were offended.
What?
I made a comment about this character being neutered because I didn't want to say anything else. I was like, well, that's like the like nice way of saying that. It was offensive to the cookie
What type of screaming?
on there. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody can understand anything coming except for. That's the worst way of saying things. You know what? I've always been brutally honest, and I know that causes problems. I know I don't resonate with a good
problems.
I know
Yeah.
it doesn't resonate with the majority of society. They don't like the bluntness of what I say. I do my best to say things not being offensive, but however, that's what we're all thinking. Yeah, well, what do you want me to say? Neuter? Do you want me to say, oh, somebody just wouldn't cut up his balls? Does that sound better? Yeah, I'm just saying what I'm thinking. You know what? If we're in a problem, like if we're in this reality of society where what I am thinking is so offensive to people that I have to be shut down, there is no hope. And that's probably where we're at this point, is that what I say is just clearly, other people are thinking it. You know that. I'm saying what other people are thinking, and I know that. That's why I know. I get people laugh because they know what I'm saying. There's truth to it. Kind of done with a society that's like, oh my god, it's so offensive. I need to shut you down because this offended me. Hey, if it makes you laugh and you think it's inappropriate, that is better than anything else because you laughed, and that is important. We need more laughter. Laughing at inappropriateness. Seriously, because unfortunately, I believe taking this life as seriously as we do, which I have done many, many times in my life, taking it too seriously. You know you laughed because you know it was funny. Am I right? Yes. See, there's the admitting. Mom, it was embarrassing because it's hilarious and funny. Yeah, your father fell in love with me because I drew him inappropriate pictures. I did. I would doodle inappropriate pictures on his papers. Sitting in class, I'd turn around and then draw something and make some inappropriate comment. And you go have a normal life. And then you have to have a bedtime. Because that's what all the normal people do. They have bedtimes. Yeah. And normal people don't let their kids have YouTube channels.
Oh, yeah. Because we found out an update today.
What?
So, shh.
They're not going with them.
For streaming live.
So 13, you can have a channel. Under
You
13,
won't be able to go live till you're 60.
But okay, so then but then that means like if you have a parent challenge, you have these parents that do things with their kids.
Well, then everything's gonna be under the parent.
Exactly. So the only way around any of that is having a family channel of where the parent is running it. Which again, there you go. Normal parents don't let the kids do it. And I find it funny they're doing that. I'm like, what are you finding that the kids' content is getting better views than young kids? I don't know. It makes me wonder.
Well, I
Push that they want to track everybody on the internet and have you literally have this like ID that follows you no matter what, and that you have to prove that you're over 18 to access pretty much everything.
it has a
And it's sold as this thing for safety for children, but it's really kind of the suspicious, more draconian,
you can't have this because they're Canadian.
yeah, like you can't because you don't have the right ID because you're not that age. It's it's just like I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with any of that stuff. But they also don't want I don't think they want kids making money that more money than parents.
Facebook to download all your lives.
Oh, nice. What was I gonna say? Like putting it that, like, I just have to point out something. So increasing the age 16, so you can't have a YouTube channel until you're 16. You can't drink until you're 18 in Canada, 21 in the US. You can't do all these things. But if you identify as an opposite gender and your parents don't support it and you are 8 years old, your parents can get in trouble and you can be given things that are irreversible.
Yeah. Who cares?
Okay, who cares? Who cares when you mutilate your body?
Okay, now you're really gonna give me a band off.
Oh.
Yeah, Mom.
Sorry.
Why? You don't have to go.
Well, that's where that went because in my mind I know too much. And that is exactly where that went.
You're lying. No, you do.
I'm not good at censoring my thoughts.
Just go inside and then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm saying-
I was told by somebody on Reddit that they were impressed. They had never seen anybody still able to do any commenting because normally when you get this many downvotes, you're not even on Reddit anymore. And I was still had a Reddit account.
Go on.
Yeah, but nobody goes on Rumble unless they're like. I don't hear anybody talking about Rumble except the people on Rumble. Which is
Yes, that's the same thing as Reddit. Nobody talks about Reddit except for people that go on Reddit. And I only use Rumble because of my videos on YouTube, and then if you want to finish the video, you gotta go to Rumble. You're not allowed to do this, but you can do this, which is much more extreme, much more dangerous. Why can't I speak my opinion? Oh, because I have wrong thoughts. Yeah, you guys try to censor me too. In my family. What your rules there?
Safety vest on. He's like a security. It's like that guy at that gas station.
What's there?
Safety vest on. He's like a security. It's like that guy at that gas station, that Murphy's gas station. That Murphy's gas station.
So every time you say stuff, I am so not fit for human consumption. This is why I've gone through, because if I'm left to talk on my own device, I am so. But the are happening that they're allowing kids to make adult decisions on that they should not be able to. But then these other things are being like, well, you don't have access to this. You can't do this. You can't do that. But you don't have access to this. You can't do this. You can't do that. But in Canada, if you want to go
Trying to get behind any news article.
and a
Okay,
third
so-
party placed by something else. Well,
Any news article.
and a
okay,
thurd
so-
party placed by something else.
There's
Well,
else
something
in the
like
future.
that,
You
right?
can't even give a name to something where we don't know what the future is.
No, but
But you have
however,
to build.
it is really sad that what I see can be that much of a problem by being a person that's talking about the reality existing, me taking this commentary of what I observe in reality, how sad it is, and I can't talk about the scenarios in this reality, which are all truthful. It's not me exaggerating and making up a situation and these things existing. This is actually what is happening, and that for talking and observing the situation that I am literally not allowed to, just not, because it'll get you in trouble, get your account banned, get you shadow banned, get you shut down for legitimately observing this reality and then talking about the things that are happening in this reality.
But that's why any public videos are just like, here's what I can solve for you, and then you lead people into. Because
I get
these ideas and conversations are not for
Police reported ahead.
platforms that don't support that shit.
Which is
So you're using publicly available platforms that people actually like going to. As I say, when I bring up Rumble and people say, "What's that?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I know it's a tiny, it's like Patreon. A lot of people don't know what Patreon is,
yes,
right? So it's only if they've been speaking about things and having open discussion with people and making content where they would have found those platforms."
Well, I think the biggest thing, Mike, is that because everything's so censored, no one knows any of those things are happening. So you're not allowed to talk about any of the things that are happening.
Unless you've had the experience where it's happened to you or somebody you know, and then you've gone through this research and say, okay, for the people who've been doing stuff where they disappear, they're on those other platforms.
So unless you've had this, this is how you control the narrative. This is how you control your population, is you don't let them talk about what is actually happening.
COVID in a nutshell.
Well, you're saying that word.
Yeah, but I'm not saying any of the trigger words surrounding it, because it's over.
Yeah.
People have moved on.
It's like
People not moved on from the MAID yet, because people don't even know it exists unless you're in Canada or California or one of the northeast U.S. states that allows it.
Yes.
It's not on people's radar because it came up. I should have told Stephanie about it, because you guys caught me off guard about Mind Valley in Dubai. I'm like, I can't remember. I gotta sit here and they brought that up. When Dave Asprey was on stage, they brought it up because he's into biohacking, and then he brought up the whole thing about the reverse of biohacking, which is the MAID program.
Yeah.
So, but he was on a physical stage in a foreign country.
Well, what are we
talking about it and bringing up Canada and California?
Well, the reason it's so big and it's increasing and people are willingly consenting to it is because their life is too easy. Is that not what the outcome of that is? Is when your life is too easy that you are not even motivated to improve in your life, which is what happens under the type of government we have, which is not a government that supports you going out. Like, you get penalized for being successful. You get penalized for being successful. There's more incentives to be unsuccessful and live off of the government. That is how that works. So when that happens and you reach this point that there's no incentive to improve your life because you're in this, like, what has happened is no wonder this is a growing thing there, because there's no incentive to improve your life. It's legitimately your life has been too easy, and now just disappear. Here you go, here's your solution, MAID. But the point of that is just like, you're not going to let kids make content. You're not going to let kids do all these things online where these are horrible for kids to have access to these things. Yet what we're doing on the reverse to kids and giving them the power to do makes no sense. That's my point.
Yeah, well,
like the fact that they can consent to MAIDs in Canada or to anything related to who they identify with and things that can change them permanently as a human. Yet you can't go and buy booze, in Canada, that will dissipate from this reality and choose to do things to your body that can never be undone. So that is my point. And being able to comment on them and have that discussion is getting more and more difficult in these platforms. And that is also part of this problem of what we're going into, because they don't want you to talk about it and look at these things and bring up the different dimensions of that. So I'm surprised there's any alternative media that is still able to be supported through posting on YouTube, but they're probably, most aren't from Canada. There is still some, but they don't talk about the real connections of things. They're very surface. Just think about my grandparents, my grandma. Like, can't talk about what's happening. They can really talk. They went through their own period of time where you didn't talk about things, or you covered up things and hid things. Because you'd have family shame if people found out about things.
The family shame is really just
keeping up with the Joneses.
No, it's all emotional intelligence.
Keeping up with the
Joneses. They didn't have the emotion, the emotional, the control over their emotions to something happens and then they would just go.
You brought shame on our family.
Crying, quietly crying in the corner and holding it in and then feeling shame.
Then covering everything up. Let's just dig a hole, bury this in the skeleton because we're ashamed. Whatever they considered, this misdemeanor of shame that was thrown upon their family. Because what are the neighbors gonna think? You know what? Who fucking cares what your fucking neighbors think? You know what? Your neighbors are probably some of the most horrible people. You might think they're great, and they might, on the surface, they might seem like the best people. But if you care about what they think, they're not the best people. Because if they're not normal humans who, everybody's going through this journey all the time. And if you lose people's respect out of something because, you had some problem happen in your life, most things are not, most things can happen to anybody. A little different if, losing respect because you do something that's actually a heinous crime. That's a little different. But, oh my God, God forbid.
It's too high to know what I was doing.
Well, God forbid you marry somebody from a different religion or race. That brings shame on people's families. Or you don't practice the same religion, or you don't just these things that aren't.
Trying to write this.
Okay. Write it.
I'm trying to write it.
You're telling me my talking stops you from
writing?
Yes,
it does, because I'm trying to come up with ideas.
Well, what are you trying to bring ideas with? I can talk you some ideas.
I'm still writing out the custom GPT for students. Because I ended up back in the screen to do something else. I was like, oh, wait, I still have to finish writing this. So I'm going to get it tested. I forgot that I wasn't finished writing it. So it's opening up.
Are you really close to being done writing it?
I think so.
There we go.
I'm giving it my experience, and then the guidelines that we want them to work with them, and they're writing their ideas and their scripts, in the goal of the 1,000 subs. But it's
Air quality alert effect reduce travel. I don't think I've seen air quality messages. I've never been told to reduce my travel. Sorry. Well, I'm still going to my campsite. Sorry, Dad. I was not trying to ignore you. I just got distracted by the shiny sign. I do not have any problems at all with attention. I am completely perfect. Don't know about you. But my question that I don't know. I did not listen to your answer. You're close to the end. Is that
No,
correct?
I don't know if I am. I just every time I come in here, I'm like refining it.
So the base is done. It's just the refining.
Well,
of
it's
it?
like I have to like give it a description of how I want it to respond. So I'm like, here's where my training comes from in podcast production experience. My influences are this person, and this person, just to build the credibility. And then it is how I want them to respond. Well, respond to people as it's doing, providing ideas. I say I might be close, and I may not even be anywhere near being close until I come up with it. When I read through this again, and I'll be like, oh, I want to like tweak this part. So I had it auto-generated, but then I rewrote a lot of it because it's just going based on the general output that it thinks you want. I see. So I'm like, well, I like this, but I want, And then I self-test it to see if that's even actually accurate, because a lot of people recently have been saying ChatGPT sucks, it's lazy, it doesn't work anymore after the last update. And then I'm asking them if they've changed the models, because when you go what you're supposed to do when you're generating stuff with ChatGPT is actually type in your prompt through all the different models to see as all the answers and all the output going to be different based on what it is weighing its responses on.
But I did notice it did seem it was getting lazier.
But that's why I'm telling it. I'm literally in here telling it to not be lazy. Like, that's one of the instructions. Is like, don't be lazy. Make sure when people ask you something, like, keep having. Anyway, number one thing: don't be lazy.
Go find
Maybe not the first thing, but
that's the built-in chat that's on the Safari for my iPhone. So it actually is like it's a DuckDuckGo or whatever. Just now we've got this like chat AI built in. So when you ask a question, it brings websites, but then you can go to the chat AI and then the chat can do the search for you, right? Which is actually kind of useful because sometimes the things I'm looking for, when I explain it to chat, it does a better search than me explaining it to the search engine, right? But so it's a glorified search engine in that terms for sure. I get that, but I find it's really lazy answering my questions, and I've actually scolded it. And I was like, "Well, what about this? Like, you legitimately aren't giving me this information." And I'm like,
so
"Oh
I'm
my
just
god,
like, I want to see if it works." Unless I have to switch to another language model, because I still want to have something like a chat GPT prompt or some AI, or when we have students come in and they're saying, well, what about this, what about this, like, or like giving them responses, but still reassuring them that they need to write all their ideas be written down, think about their scripts, just think about stuff before they go discuss it in case they realize that one item has much more detail to it than they. Because, when you start recording, you're like, oh, wow, I only wanted to go for an hour, or try and get this done in 20 minutes. I got like 2 hours worth of content. And then you're going to be chopping that up into sub-episodes, right? And there may still be more concepts or ideas or sub-episodes off some of the ideas that you bring up, but if you never actually sit there and think about the scripts, then that stuff's not going to be made, and all those ideas are going to be lost. It'd be like how a songwriter writes songs, they may publish them under their own name or pen name or go sell them to somebody else.
Yeah.
But if they didn't actually write down all those song ideas that they had, they would have made them. That's what people used to do. They'd go to go hang out and jam with people and share stuff and blah, 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 right?
In 2 miles, take exit 130B, the Virginia 3 West toward Culpeper.
Yeah. Running my rat. I'll be through. Past the next, obviously going excessively fast. But whatever. I was gonna say, but no, it is disappointing though how bad that chat is. And oh my God, I actually did get quite annoyed at it. But like, this is a piece of not into the Safari.
We were up to 520, still shaved 4 minutes off, so must be no traffic.
We still have 20 minutes. And you know what can happen in 20 minutes? We've seen it on the I-95.
Oh, we're jumping off the I-95.
In
Onto
a half
that
mile, take
overpass.
exit 130B
The next
for
exit,
Virginia
right?
3 West for Culpeper.
Full pepper. Okay, it is pepper. Although there's not 3 P's, only 2.
Charlie
3OB, then
Cable's
merge
fine.
onto Virginia 3 West.
Yes. Leaving North Carolina, I want to be sucked into the rear tires for no apparent reason. We've had a Wawa.
Oh, what?
A Wawa.
It's not like it's an extinct species.
Continue on Virginia 3 West for 12 miles.
Right. Coming into the sun. So far, a good drive. You rate a good drive by being fairly uneventful. Minus the box lid. And was there any other things that I pulled over for? Just the box lid. And it was the snacks you had got or something. What did you grab after? Oh, cable was missing. That was not that exciting. That was not that fun. Ooh, $3.53 for diesel? That's expensive.
Yeah, there's not a chain, so you have all the independents, they're going to be more expensive because
There's the Prime. That's PRINE, right?
that.
Prime on that vehicle right over there.
I see where you're looking at, but
That's what it says, right? It's PRINE.
trying,
Unless that's a T. But I'm pretty.
trying. What the hell would trying mean?
Oh, no, what's Prime mean? I don't know. Is that a bad?
Primus?
Prime. Because if they use Prime, they get a lawsuit. Shoe. Pine dentist and braces. Gabe's. Spotsylvania? How would you-
Spotsylvania.
Spotsylvania, that's how you say it?
Why would you be saying it's Spotsylvania? It's not Pennsylvania or Transylvania. It's Spotsylvania.
No, it looks weird. That's
I
why
didn't
I'm
know it
gonna
was
pronounce
here either. I just found a
Oh my god. You can't even drive. What are you
they're
doing?
Toyota drivers, man. They there's no jokes about Toyota driver. I know people love Toyota vehicles because they last long, but usually the drivers are questionable. I'm not gonna even get into that conversation. But who I think drives Toyota? That's probably me making fun of Julio and Justine.
BJ's Wholesale Club.
A lot of BJ's
No.
over here. A lot of BJ's going around.
Wholesale BJ's.
So that's the gas station with BJ's too.
You didn't even hear my comment.
No, as I said, there's too many BJ's going around here.
Is it wholesale BJ's? See, I am bad. I'm just like a perv. So maybe women are more pervy than men can ever be. I do make the nastiest comment. Why are you you do pervy movements and I do pervy comments. That is legitimately usually how that works.
That's our relationship right now, just pervs. 369 here for Wawa. So it was good I stopped at Smurfy's. Little. LIDL. Supermarket.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought it was all of these initially.
Well, LIDL.
Yes.
What's Teddy doing?
What's not bugging me for love?
He's bugging you for love. I'm ready to play. He needs love. Give your doodle love. He chose you. Oh, I gotta merge into this lane.
Or make a murderer.
Ooh, I wasn't trying to do that. I was like, why aren't we? There's nobody else in front of me merging. Why not just like stop? So this place is actually called Spotsylvania.
Yeah, when I originally.
I thought that was just the business name.
It's supposed to the vineyards.
No, that sign. When I was like, I thought that was just the business name. It was like, I didn't realize.
Weeks ago, when I booked this spot, I said we were going to Spotsylvania, Virginia.
I thought you were joking. I didn't know it was actually called Spotsylvania. I thought you were just being humorous. I did not know that was actually real. Now I know.
Because I mentioned that it's
and I still didn't, as I'm driving through, believe it was real and just thought that that was a business name. I was like, that's weird. This must be something Lavania. That's what I mean. It's just a pretty area. Spotsylvania.
Civil War trails. Max, settle down.
He thinks I'm driving slow.
Say, I need to sniff. Lick, run.
Lick and run.
There wasn't really any water rolling down. Lick, run.
Yeah, well, maybe because when you lick it, you've got the runs.
Really? Yes, that's my wife there. She's laughing at her Jack bad joke. Not even a joke. It's just a comment. A life observation.
You know why I did it? Like, no, the reason I'm laughing is because I'm like, oh my god, I just my comments. I am inappropriate. Don't ever leave me alone if you want. If you're concerned about.
I left you something with Stephanie now. Like what? For an hour 20 to the White House.
Yeah.
It's actually on Tuesday, we'll literally just drive right past it.
Okay. Well, why don't we stop on Tuesday?
Well, we're gonna stop on Tuesday, but pull in the trailer.
Yeah. Are we just gonna take pictures and go? I'm sure there's gotta be somewhere you can park. I'm sure there's buses of people that fucking travel there all the time, Meg. Like, it's not like I want to go in and get a tour. I just want to go and see it, take a picture, maybe alive, and there you go, right? I don't know what else this would be. It doesn't look
It's
like
not
there's any-
this one. I think it's the next one.
with that blue. Is there anything else up there? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the next
Okay.
one.
Okay. That's fine.
But I don't think the connector would be it. We're in the middle of nowhere, so.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right.
That's the point two wilderness run.
Yeah, Wilderness Run Vineyards.
So I could have stayed. I don't see a turn off. I don't know where I'm turning.
Probably where that mailbox is.
Yes, I get that now.
Your destination is on the right.
How close are you to that side?
I think I'm okay.
So I think it says Red Barn.
That would be up there, the red barn. I don't see anything else that'd be a red barn. So do we go?
The red barn with the bit is way back there. So that's where we have to check in.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want me just to kind of park right here on the side? And then you want to go check in and let's find out where we park? Oh, sorry, I'm keeping the line. Oh my God, there's a freaking line. I'm assuming you just parked in here somewhere, but like.
I think that's how it's gonna work. So how about you just go? Oh, there's a camper right there already.
I
so-
know. It's- Oh, we want to park over that way. Oh, we park this way at the end or between this. Or at the end of the end.
There's no parking along the fence.
Yeah.
So
Should I park on the end here? Or should I
I
just
think
go
you're just
past
gonna
here?
have to go. How about go up and make a right, and then just park on the grass, headed that way.
Okay.
Because then we're not blocking anybody.
Can I
or-
go? Do I go just now, or is that?
Yeah. Go now. I just start and then just straighten out and face that way. And then if they want us to move, we'll move. But at least we get checked in before they close, before they get bitchy. Because then it'll be more flat if you have the whole thing lengthwise up here versus like this.
Like going that way.
Yeah, so just straighten out and go that way.
Cool. So I can go on that red road.